Hey all, welcome to SLB Basement Bourbon Bar. We're just enjoying our time here together. Down in the bar, getting ready for a brand new show.
We're just talking about hair transplants, actually.
We were. I'm good with mine, you know. It is going to be what it's going to be.
I am too, but when I shaved it for the Riley's thing,
Yes.
I don't know that I'm going to do that again this year. But
Got to come up with something different.
yeah, let us know what you want to see for that in the Riley's thing. We it's almost time, so we got to start planning for
We
that.
got to start talking about that pretty soon.
And before we get speaking of things, we need to talk about the live stream this Friday.
Oh yeah,
Is going to be hopefully pretty good. There's 5 different Russells in there. If you're a Wild Turkey fan, or a fan of us, or just want to spend your afternoon watching stuff go off the rails real quick, 8 o'clock p.m. Central. Don't miss it. We're going to be doing the Russells blind. We're going to put Kurt and Kent through the ringer, and we'll see which one comes out on top.
Yeah, it ought to be a wild and crazy time. It always is. That's what I said before. That's why we only do one live stream a month, because that's about all we can handle.
Yeah. But
Well, today we're going to be doing another show of Sip It or Skip It. Trenton, we have several brand new
that what we call
whiskeys to us. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. We have several brand new whiskeys down here for us. I'm really intrigued by a couple of these. We do have the brand new barrel batch 36, so I am highly anticipating that sip. Batch 35 was remarkable.
I don't remember that.
You're kidding.
No,
it
we
was
might have to
really
we
good.
might have to bring it out. I don't even know
Yeah,
where it
it's
is.
over there somewhere with the rest of them.
Oh, I see all the barrel. Okay.
But it was fabulous, and it might be one of those situations, Trenton, where it's hard to live up to the previous release that was just spectacular.
Yeah.
But this one might be spectacular in its own right. I have no
I
idea.
hope so.
Something brand new from JT Meleck here. We all love JT Meleck, 100% rice whiskey. Let's start with this one though, Trenton. This caught my eye because it has walleye on there. Do you even know what a walleye is?
Yeah, dude, I had walleye at the Lighthouse restaurant a couple months ago. Yeah,
Very
there were bones in it.
nice.
I don't know if walleye is supposed to have bones in it, but
I'd rather have a fillet. But
I didn't quite. It was a walnut crusted walleye. I didn't quite finish it just because there was bones in every bite I took. Yeah, it's
I
kind
don't
of
like
a bummer.
that. Yeah, that is a bummer. But you brought this down here, Trenton. This is something that's new to you, and it intrigued me for a couple of reasons. The name, Walleye Run, and another reason, it is a malted rye whiskey, aged 7 years. It is 92 proof, and it comes out of New Holland Distillery. It is distilled and bottled in New Holland up in Michigan.
Okay, so not a source product.
No, it's
I'm
sweet
into
mash aged in American oak. Trenton still has the price sticker on here, $51.99.
Yeah, when Harry puts those stickers on there, you either rip the whole label off or just keep the sticker on there. It's one of those things.
I'm glad you did though, because it
Yeah.
gives us reference for what we're doing here today. So I love the proof point there, 92 proof. I love that. The price doesn't seem too bad for a nice rye whiskey.
Yeah. Well, so I was texting Harry the other day, and he told me that he got this in. I hadn't heard of it, and it was right after we talked about the Zeppelin with the single malt.
Yeah, the single malt. Mhm.
Bound or blend or whatever.
Yeah, the Zeppelin blend.
Yeah, that one. It was actually really good. So Harry
Very
texted me that they got this one, and he was showing it to me and everything, and I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
After that, I told him anytime a new rye comes in, I will buy it. Given it's not like like a ridiculous price point or anything.
Okay.
So this was one of the ones that I picked up a couple days ago, I think, and I didn't crack it at home, but I've been looking forward to trying it.
We just opened it. I just opened it actually just a minute ago. I'm digging the nose. It's a bit malty. It really is. It gives me that graham cracker type note in there, a little bit of honey note in there.
I was gonna say
but
honey.
it also follows up with some rye characteristics.
If you could malt like Smarties, it gives me like a Smarties vibe.
It does.
Yeah, like dusty, chalky kind
It
of a
really
Smartie
does.
malted with a little honey. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, my first time in on the nose there, I was picking up those notes I was talking about. My
Yeah.
second time in, immediately, when you said Smarties, yeah.
Dude, I immediately
absolutely,
go to candy. You gotta
for
know
sure, for sure.
that. All right, YOLO. It's kind of like skunky. Like if you drive past a skunk that has been deceased.
Oh, it's a little bit. I don't know what the mash bill is in here. I'm sure
You're not saying it?
I didn't find it.
Kyle, if you see the mash bill,
Yeah.
the more you know
Yeah.
what the mash bill is.
Yeah, I'm curious about that because there is some malt vibes coming through here. I'm assuming that that's coming from the malted rye that's in here. I'd like to know how much malted rye is in the mash bill.
I get like and when I say skunky, it's not in a bad way.
That's the malt notes that he's coming up with here.
Sometimes I get a skunkiness to like even that Zeppelin or like a Westward single malt or like something like that, but I almost get this like toasty Cheerio thing in there too. It's really nice.
Let me just put it to you this way. If any folks out there are into American single malts, because I wouldn't say Scotch. This has nothing, there's no flavor characteristics that can translate into Scotch whiskey here. However, there are some that will translate to an American single malt. If you're into that any at all and you like rye whiskey as well, this is fabulous for $50. I'm very pleased with that. I like it because I like everything I just said.
Have you ever can you eat cactus?
I've never tried.
I've never had a cactus either, but it's giving me similar to vibes of what a cactus might taste like, and I don't know why. Maybe it's got this like spiky.
Have you ever had the cactus candy?
What? No, they do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I'm going to speak out of turn here, but when I visit in Arizona once in a while, it's like they have candy that's like cactus stuff.
Maybe it's more of like an aloe vera. Aloe vera?
Aloe vera?
Yeah, it's giving me like a vegetal, but like a green vegetal thing, but it's not overly vegetal. It's just like a little bit of like a dirtiness.
Yeah, and that's, I believe, coming from the characteristics of an actual rye whiskey.
A lot of honey in it though.
Yeah, lots. I like it.
Don't let malted fool you on this one. Don't get me wrong, it's malted. It's not going to fool anybody that's malted. But if you've had malted stuff in the past and you're kind of sour to like a malted product of any kind or even a rye, this is a good like exploratory type thing. I could see this evolving quite a bit as it kind of sits open. And a 7-year rye for $51 that's malted, I'm happy with that. I honestly would buy another.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm very pleased with the price, especially too.
Would you buy one?
Absolutely.
Perfect. I got two. I got one for you at home. Actually, no, that's yours. You can take that one. I got an unopened one at home.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom.
This is right up my alley when it comes to a rye whiskey too.
That's very good.
It lends to different other flavor profiles that I really enjoy.
I heard that New Holland is coming out with some other 7-year products.
They have been just killing it.
They're on my radar now. Not that they weren't before, but that's not something you really see people review or anything. So
we've just been fortunate to get a few things here and there from them that's really opened our eyes to some of the great things that they're doing. Keep it up.
All right, Michigan
Distillery. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to this Barrel Batch 36, Trenton. Now, this one was sent to us, correct?
Yes, this was sent by Barrel.
With the information. So thank you very much for the folks over there for sending us this bottle. It's very much appreciated. I'm assuming it's going to be roughly around the same price point that they all are, is around $80 or so.
I believe it was $79.99, if not $84.99. I got the
Let me look on the label here for everybody. The mash bill's on the back. It's 79% corn, 16% rye, 5% malted barley. So in the blend here, we have a 9-year Kentucky, a 7.5, 8, and 10-year Indiana, and an 8 and a 15-year-old Tennessee, all bourbon. So there is a little bit of some Tennessee whiskey in there, and we probably can figure out where that's coming from.
Probably. No, I think I should have looked at their website to see if they actually give the details of the percentage blends and everything.
Sure.
Not that would really matter a whole lot, just kind of a curious note to see how much of that stuff is actually going in there.
They've used the Tennessee whiskey before, and masterfully, in my opinion. They've done a great job with their blends, as they usually do.
It's kind of like eating a butterscotch candy on a hayride.
So, all right, let me unpack this for a second. Because sometimes these things just go zzz, because, he comes up with a million of these. And I don't really think about what he's saying. So, say it again.
It's like you're eating a butterscotch candy on a hayride.
On a hayride. So, basically, you're saying you get some butterscotch notes.
Yep.
But you're also getting some hay or
grains.
grain.
Or like in the fall when you go outside and you get like this fresh waft of like leaves, like autumn leaves.
Okay,
it's
sure.
kind of giving me a little bit of that. Just
right.
like, I don't want to say leaf decay because that doesn't sound very pleasant. It
getting
smells good.
I'm getting like a light cinnamon note in there too. Mm-hmm.
It's very reminiscent.
I'm sorry.
It's reminiscent of like a fall sip.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
I do like that.
It is. I definitely am getting your butterscotch vibe. I'm a little off my rocker with the
hayride
with
part?
the hay, but you know, I'm not going to deny it.
There's a little bit of this grainy note that I'm not super fond of. It kind of takes away from the sweetness and the other nice. I could see a little bit of like an allspice or cinnamony type baked good thing.
Yeah, that's like and it, you know, to me that when you say a baked thing, that's pretty good compliment to the nose, because with the cinnamon, with a little bit of that butterscotch, I think that note you're coming from might be like a pastry type note that's coming through too.
Yeah.
But it might be a little grainy to you.
Yeah.
Might be to you. It's not to me.
What was the proof? 114.44. Ooh, they got a new label too, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of like how they put the batch front and center.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen it that big. All right, well, we stepped up in proof, and I can obviously tell that.
Mouth's getting juicy.
This first sips of the evening, as you all know when we do our videos. Started out with the 92, we're moving up, and then we're going to move up a little bit more with the next one, but
it's super oily.
it is. The texture is fantastic.
Like, I'm kind of choking on it because it's like that viscous. I don't know if that ever happened. I don't know if that ever happens to you. That proof really kicks up quite a bit.
It drinks
All that proof.
every bit of it.
Wow.
Even into the finish, I got quite a bit of burn going on the tongue. He's gonna go get batch 35. Hey, listen, on first sip, I'm not as fond of it as I was for batch 35.
I don't think I am either.
Not to say that it isn't a nice sip. Just don't say that. But that's what we get into sometimes. When you have when a distillery has an amazing release come out, it's hard to live up to that time and time and time again.
There's going to be some that just aren't as good as the last batch. Not to say that the new batch isn't good. It just might be different in its own way. That's not as good as the previous.
This one too now has been open for a few weeks, maybe a couple, 2 or 3 weeks, just so everybody knows.
Okay, though. I think I like 36 a little better. Actually.
Do you now?
I get this like, do you remember at like the YMCA? Mm-hmm. They have those things that are mounted on the wall in the locker rooms that you can put your wet bathing suit in, and you hold down on the top, and like, ooh, it's like one of those.
I don't know.
I
didn't spend much time with the YMCA.
I'm getting a little bit of like a dampness to this, or like a mildewy type of thing on the palate.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
You like the mildews?
No, I like the whiskey itself. I on first sips, and I'll take another one here in a second, but I got more of those pastry notes, quite a bit of those.
This one?
No, this one here.
Oh, this one.
Intermediate type pastry notes, not super dark, not super light, but kind of intermediate sweet pastry notes.
What's the proof on the, oh, this one's 117, so I might drink a little bit hotter. About 3 proof higher than the batch 36.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Comes through with some baking spice there in the back end of the palate too. I'm getting some really nice baking spice. It's pretty good. I mean, listen, folks, Barrel is a top shelf blender in my opinion. They do a fantastic job. You want me to get you some?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah, thanks.
I forgot to get some water, guys. I'm sorry.
I don't know where you stand, but I personally like batch 36 just a tad more. I think it might have something to do with the proof, but it's a little bit softer and more forgiving on the palate. And it could be something too where we're going from a 92 proof to a 114, so any of that jump is going to be substantial nonetheless.
I'm getting some really nice pastry notes in there, and follow suit in the back end of the palate with some nice baking spice notes.
I would be interested to do a barrel batch blend, or a blind rather. Like the best, like maybe 4 or 5 different barrels, because it's one of those things. It's not a cheap product. It's $80. It's blended.
Right.
Granted, they are transparent, so it's nice to know what the mash bill is and what age statements you're actually purchasing for the price that you're paying. Not a ton of blenders do that just because of NDAs and all that other stuff. But
yeah, I love that. Very transparent. You can go to their website and find about any information you want to find on any given bottle that they release, which is very, very nice. I don't know. I think it's pretty solid.
I think I'm a 36 fan as opposed to a 35 fan.
Oh, look at you.
We'll let the blind tell off. You guys want to see that? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
JT, what is this? What do they call it? Something different.
Yeah, this is JT Meleck.
High proof.
High proof. This is not cask strength. This is not barrel proof. It just states high strength, and it's 118 proof. Now, the good folks at JT Meleck sent us this bottle as well, and we are very appreciative for that. So thank you very much. I love their labels, Trenton. I mean, with the crawfish on there and everything. Now, come on, man. From Louisiana.
They didn't send that.
Oh, they didn't? Mm-mm. My bad. I thought they did, but I thought that's what you told me. So where did you find this?
Hold on. Okay, now I'm trying to think. They may or may not have sent it.
Well,
I can't remember. You can get it's currently $59.99. I saw it on Bourbon Outfitters. I saw it on a couple other liquor websites. You can get it, so it's available.
Cost efficient.
Yeah,
I like that. And if you did send it, thank you for that. If not,
sorry, Mia. Thank you.
Yeah. If not, why didn't you? That's all I can say.
Jesus.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Oh my God.
But in general, my buddy Jonathan from Texas hooked me up originally with JT Meleck. Right?
I remember that.
We knew nothing about it. Yeah. And from there, it just escalated. And we went down there and we picked a couple barrels, had a great time on their farm. It was just, and remember the food too?
Oh, I put some crackling in my pocket. It was nuts. No, it was a boudin.
Oh boy, we're gonna get hammered because
I did.
We don't pronounce it correctly.
No, the last time I mentioned it, I didn't get roasted. Everybody was very educational in the comments about how to spell it. Nonetheless, it was very good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. So, 100% rice too. I mean, how do they do it? No clue.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
It's just wonderful.
Rich, syrupy.
Yeah, it's chocolatey, it's syrupy, it's a slight hint of caramel, definitely some brown sugar, all the good stuff.
I don't even know how to describe that. Is that what? Is that butterscotch?
That's a nice hit of butterscotch.
It's like a butterscotch mixed with like a caramel.
Mm-hmm. A little caramel, brown sugar in there. I mean, do you get a lot of oak in there at all?
I get a lot of rice.
I don't. It's just amazing of what they can do there. And I'm going to say it again. $60. $60.
I'm going to have to buy one of these after this because that's very good. Yeah, dude, that's just like so. I really don't get a lot of oak. It's a little drying on the back end. I'll say that much about it. But I mean, that's about the only really knock I can give it.
That would be a spectacular pour neat for those of you that just want to dive right in and get that full 118 proof. I haven't even tried it, but I will guarantee you that would be a very good pour over a block of ice too.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, just wonderful.
And
great.
I'll say this too. When we went there, this was probably last year. We walked in and we were given the opportunity to try some of their vodka, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
I get vodka keeps the lights on for a lot of smaller distilleries, so I get it. You got to start somewhere. It's a non-aged. Well, I don't. Do they age? I've never seen an aged vodka.
I wouldn't have a slightest clue.
That would be interesting.
My knowledge of vodka is slim to none.
At Kettle One or Tito's or bust. If you know of a like a barrel aged vodka that you've tried and you actually like, let me know in the comments because I would try it absolutely. But their vodka, I wasn't expecting much.
No, no.
We left with 12 bottles of the vodka. It was that good.
We shared it. We gave away a lot of it.
Yeah.
It has a really beautiful light vanilla note to it.
It's a little strawberry too. I don't know how they do that with.
Well, I don't either.
I think it's rice vodka. I don't know. Something about the rice.
Yeah, something about the rice down there.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
Well, Trent and I had a great time trying all these. How would you rank them?
Honestly,
real quickly before we stop, this is always a fun part for me.
I think the malted rye is my first.
Really? I didn't think you would say that.
Something about it is I've been gravitating towards those lower proof ones that are a little bit more complex. Usually you get that with like a malted variation of something, whether it's a whiskey or a rye. I guess rye is a whiskey, but it's just really dynamic, and I like how it's got this like funkiness to it. It's got this coffee-ish, bitter kind of aspect to it that I really like, and it's a 7-year, and it's their own distillate, and it's $51. I don't know, I'm a huge fan. Honestly, this next, if I could give out 2 second places, I would. I'd probably go JT Meleck in second, and then the Barrel in third.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% because I've really enjoyed all 3 tastings.
Yeah.
That doesn't usually happen. That usually doesn't happen.
No, there's usually one that's
right, but for me, I'd have to put this Meleck in first place, man. Ooh. It was everything good in the world for me on that one. I really have to put this one next.
And
that doesn't mean Barrel is not good either.
Yeah.
It just means all 3 were fantastic. I really enjoyed this rye because of the malty notes that you get in there too. Some of those characteristics that I personally really enjoy. May not be for everybody. This one here may not be for everybody, but for me it really was, and I loved it. So awesome tasting.
I like too that these are smaller distilleries. Unfortunately, that means that distribution is going to be random throughout. Like you might not even get it in your state or any neighboring states. You could always check out online retailers like Bourbon Outfitters or Shared Pour, Seal Box, like those types. Those are ones where we purchase some things here and there when we can't find it in our state. But I mean, really, I don't think you could go wrong with either one of these, especially that malted rye. I think New Holland's they're making their way up there. Like Still Austin is for me and New Riff. Like New Holland with the stuff that I've tasted this year has been kind of like
we have got to get up there sometime soon. All right, guys, that's all we have for you today. Thanks so much for watching. We certainly appreciate you. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly, and we'll see you next time right down here with Trent and me for something good on Friday. I don't even know what we're doing. Do you?
No.
All right. Well, hey, one thing I can guarantee you, we'll figure it out before Friday. All right, guys. See you later.